Hey guys, so in this video I wanted to ask the question, are iPhones overpriced in comparison to other smartphones? And you can see we do have the latest iPhone 6s on the table, which will set you back quite a lot really, compared to some other handsets. And I've been thinking about it in a bit more detail, and I have to say, generally actually I don't think that they're overpriced when you consider what they're bringing to the table. Now, before you shout at me saying, I'm an iPhone fanboy and all that, I do appreciate a lot of different devices, Windows phones, Android phones, obviously, even BlackBerry, OS in terms of what they bring to the table. But I've been thinking recently the strengths of the iOS platform in general, like what the platform brings, as well as the actual phones. And I have to hand it to Apple for building such a fantastic smartphone, really. So I think the main reasons why the phones are so expensive in comparison to others is not just about brand appeal. Some people say people want to have an iPhone to look cool and everything. Yes, that is part of it. But when you consider that Apple, they keep their phones up to date, even like 4 or 5 years ago, which, I think the iPhone 4 recently received latest software. That's really amazing when you can consider against like Android phones. I think my Note 4, which was released about 1 to 2 years ago, it's still not running the latest software, and there's many other manufacturers which lag behind when it comes to the software updates. So you're always going to be running the latest software when it comes to iPhones, which is pretty awesome. You also obviously can install the latest software, if you want to use the betas. You can see I am running iOS 9.3 here on the little iPhone, which is pretty nice to give you a preview of new features. In terms of the actual software, it's very fluid. Some people say it is locked down a little bit, and that is a criticism I would say is valid. But when you consider how the software works with the hardware, it is pretty much untouchable, really. You can say that some Android phones have caught up in terms of the smoothness, etc., but you still have an amazing ecosystem where the apps just feel more mature. They seem to work across multiple devices a lot better. That is a core strength, I think, of iOS, and also part of the reason why where iPhones are so expensive. You're buying into probably the best ecosystem when it comes to the apps. Also, there's the build quality of the iPhones, which are absolutely fantastic in terms of the construction. They feel amazingly premium. Can't say the same for, some other phones on the market, like, for example, the Nexus 5X. This is the Google equivalent of the iPhone 6s, if we're to be honest. It doesn't feel like a premium, a desirable device that you want to buy. Yes, it does the job in terms of showcasing Android, but really they should have built like something more premium for the smaller handed people, instead of forcing people to buy the 6P, which admittedly is a very nice device. So that's another reason why these phones are so expensive. Also, it's got to be said that the actual build quality is actually, I think, unofficially waterproof. So this is pretty good. If you submerge your iPhone 6s, that most likely is going to survive. Apple is always, looking at ways to, make the experience more kind of enjoyable. With the Force Touch as well, which is pretty awesome. It's not, no other manufacturer did put that onto phones until Apple decided that it was going to be something that is pretty cool. Yes, the take up of it's been quite slow, but there are other manufacturers like Samsung which are rumored to be putting that technology on. So you're getting the most innovative kind of features there. A common criticism of iPhones is that the actual specs though are far behind, like in terms of the RAM, the processor, etc. But you can't really say that for the iPhone 6s. The processor is beast when it comes to the single core. The single core score is still off the chart compared to a lot of modern processors. Yes, the RAM is quite low, but then again, you've got the optimization here where it doesn't need 4 gigs of RAM to run fluidly. Going back into stuff is very nice and fluid most of the time, and unlike for example Samsung device, 4 gigs of RAM, still jittery and jerky. So that's you're paying for the amazing optimization, which again leads back to iOS. So a lot of people say iPhones are expensive, but I think the main other reason, which I nearly forgot actually, is the depreciation factor. Now iPhones, they hold their value amazingly compared to other phones. If you buy another phone, for example like a Windows phone or something, probably 3-4 months later, it's probably not worth as much as it was when you bought it. It's probably worth 50% or something. iPhones a year down the line are still probably worth 80 to 70%. So you're investing your money in something which holds value, and that is very important to a lot of people, particularly when you're looking to buy a phone to last you quite a while. If you look after it, make it look nice, put it in a case, etc., you can probably even sell it for a very good price compared to an Android. There are definite reasons why these phones are expensive. So next time someone starts ranting Apple overcharges for the device, etc., you have to look at these positives at the end of the day. I'll admit that sometimes Apple accessories are overpriced, and for example the new battery accessory, for example, for iPhones is not only ugly, but it is overpriced. But yeah, just quick little philosophical video here. If you disagree, do leave a comment and I'll try and get back to you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.